Go ahead, David.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We are coming to you live from Papua New Guinea. My name is David BAKAU. I'm a Leadership Council member from Papua New Guinea representing ONPASSIVE on the Global Council. We are excited to bring to you this session. We have some very talented and knowledgeable guys who have very long experience in the industry of technology. They are going to share with us their knowledge about what they understand about ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is a information technology company, and we have been sharing this business since I joined in 2019. I've started sharing this in Papua New Guinea. It's close to 3 years now. And at that time, the company was still in its infant. No products, no offices, only we were sharing the business because we believed in the vision and the dream of our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara. And since then, the company has evolved and has grown. It has recruited a lot of staff and also opened up offices. Recently, we had a major event. It's a global marketing event in Dubai. We are now in the very top floor of the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And as our CEO always says, we are going to the top where your ears will pop. So this is ONPASSIVE from Papua New Guinea. I just want to greet you all and welcome you all to this webinar. Thank you. I'll just translate in Pidgin for our people in the rural areas. Thank you all. Papua New Guinea, you may stop long one map corner inside long this nice country yumi. You stop on top of highlands, so you stop long Mamase region, southern region, New Guinea Islands region. We like welcoming you, Lord Islabin time. Suppose you stop on me, you join him all founder lo one map corner, now you sit down, me pla talk welcome lo ipla. Awesome. Suppose first time lo you lo come and me amamas lo looking you lo here. You can come now, you can harem one something this la company ONPASSIVE. So me pla got sample good lo man only got sawe inside lo this la business lo technology all stop on them yumi. Now all by explaining this la business lo yumi long side long all long sawe long all. So you stop on me now long slabinun me like you put him out. Now suppose you know sawe good long one something or come up, you can ask him question. And time lu long ask him question by me pla kisimol talk lol finish na bian me pla open him up meeting long ask him question. So me no pla hold him time too much, but me can go straight inside long this la boom blow you me now. Thank you once again, and I welcome all of you. I'll pass it on to our brother, hey, Mr. Chris Johnson, to make a formal, give us a short video presentation, and then we can kick off with the presentation from our guest speakers here tonight.
Thank you, David. Hello, PNG, my favorite by all of everyone. You're my favorite. Listen, you guys know Marty DeGarmo, right? I'm pretty sure you do. You call him the Godfather. If it was the Flintstones, we'd call him the Grand Poobah. But listen, he was on the Julie Milo show today, and you got to understand about Marty DeGarmo. Tech guys, all I'm is your warm-up today, so be ready. Okay, Marty DeGarmo, as we all know him, as I call him the center of ONPASSIVE, he said some really amazing things today. Now, Marty never ever watches what he says or watches a video of himself. And I was actually sanding and painting, and I heard it from the distance, and I run on there and said some excitement, but I want you to listen. It's about 12 minutes long with Marty, Julie, and Milo. And it starts a little slow, but I really want you to understand what he's saying. It's going to be about 10 to 12 minutes long. I'm saying this is just to warm up the tech guys. And then bam, it's all you to my 4 doctors of tech. So let me share my screen if I even know how to do this right. Of course I don't. Hold on. Panels. Uh-oh. Marty. Where's share? Hold on. Okay, let me go to my Facebook here. See, I'm still learning, guys. Open up. As you see, I got internet like PNG tonight. Very, very slow. Marty, if this don't work, you might have to share it on yours, Marty. DeGarmo.
I hear you.
Try yours, Marty. My internet just is horrible tonight.
Okay, hold on.
Let me stop sharing.
It's going, Chris.
Is it going? I don't see it. You could see my Facebook?
Yeah, I see your Facebook.
Boy, I wish I could. Let me see what I'm doing wrong here. 2 more. Marty, I don't see it. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I
Oh,
don't
it's
see
coming
it.
on. Just hang on. It's there. It's halfway.
Oh, are you looking at that line, David?
Yeah, I'm looking at that line.
I don't know. My internet's been terrible all day. I don't know why.
It says Facebook right there. You don't see Facebook, Chris?
Yeah, David, I clicked on it, buddy. I'm waiting for the line to.
Yeah,
See
but
it
it's
loaded up.
loading really, really slow.
Very
Slow, yeah. It's slow.
I can
Okay.
play it. I can play
All
it.
right.
If you want.
Let me hit
Go ahead,
stop
Marty.
share, Marty, and you take it over from there. I apologize, guys. Go ahead, Marty. Marty, we can't hear nothing, buddy.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
We can hear you, but we can't hear the.
You can't hear the audio, right?
We can't hear
Right.
the audio yet.
Okay, yeah, well,
Then you got to share the audio
trying
before
to think.
sharing screen.
Anyway. Somebody else should share it.
You want to try one? Does anybody else have it? Lynn? Hey, Lynn, you have it?
Yeah.
Try
Yeah, I
sharing,
think-
Lynn, see
yeah.
what happens.
Okay, let me open up my YouTube.
We're really warming up these tech guys, aren't we?
They're like, what? Everybody's computer sluggish. Mine is tonight.
Mine worked fast, I just couldn't get the sound to come out.
That's odd, huh? It's on my YouTube channel, so I'll pull it up. Okay, so what's the title of it?
I think it's called Marty hitting it on the head, something like that, Lynn.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Targeted traffic, Marty DeGarmo. There we go. Okay, so I just need to share my screen, right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, Lynn, you got to click on the share audio and video.
Yes,
option. Yeah,
got it. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
yeah, it should work now.
All right, let me get the share audio button.
On the bottom left.
Share computer sound. Okay, I've selected that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
anybody can get traffic. The problem is, if you are bringing people to your site that don't want what you have, you might as well not bring them to your site. For one thing, you're paying for it, and they have no intentions on buying it. With AI, targeted traffic, they learn the customer's buying habits. They know what the customer wants. And once they know, they will put in their face what the product is they want. And then they will explain the product to them and then work with them until they pay or unsubscribe. And that will go on every second, every day, thousands and thousands of different websites that the company made for you. So it's amazing what's going to happen. And what happens with AI driven traffic is it learns. It learns how to get better every day. So every day the marketing becomes better, more efficient. It will find out exactly the buying habits of millions of people. And it's going to be, I think we're going to be amazed at what could happen. I really do.
Absolutely, and Marty, the system that has been built, you know, I've been saying all along, hey, be consistent, be consistent. Now, how much more consistent can you be when ONPASSIVE starts, that it builds you a sales funnel every day, 365 days a year. It doesn't take breaks. It's hard for us to do that, to be that consistent, because we have things going on in our life. But Ash has really set this up for us. And I think one of the things I really love about this, there's no that you got to do this or you got to do that. He doesn't want that. He wants everybody to
David,
be
I
me.
can't hear anything.
Do it your way. Do whatever you want to do and whatever you're passionate about, because when you do that, it's more important, I think. What do you think of that?
No, absolutely. I mean, for me, ONPASSIVE is what I want to build. I don't have anything else. I don't have anything I'm thinking about. But that doesn't stop you from doing things that you might have fun doing.
Right.
You can bring people in, like Milo loves music, and having people come in. Look, if you're going to get paid to help people get their music across, I don't think that's a bad thing. It sounds like fun to me. And that could go on for everybody here. You know, I was looking at with the targeted traffic, it displays videos and ads to people across the devices using machine learning, right? So it's learning as it's showing them what's going on. The network lies in fact that it targets real humans, understands their inside and outside before they as they're actively looking at the ad. So it knows people's responses and will keep learning. So the next time the ad goes out, which could be seconds later, it's a little better, and then a little bit better, and then a little bit better. And when I did marketing, a lot of people were lied to, and that's what bothers me about MLM. People would bring in maybe 2 or 3 opt-ins a day, right? Most people here haven't even done that. You'll starve to death doing that. You need to bring in 200 or 300 people a day at least looking at your site. I mean, when we started on Passive Nation here, we had 250 opt-ins a day, every day, targeted. But the problem was, it took me 3 months to get targeted traffic. During those 3 months, we're spending money, a lot of money. And you have to fine tune. And when you fine tune, you're sweating. Why? Because if you make the wrong move, your target gets denied, or your traffic, your website gets denied. You lose all that traffic, and you got to start from scratch. With AI, none of that happens. None of that happens. They're going to go out. They're going to be smart. They don't sweat. It don't sleep. And they're going to be slamming pages out every second. And trust me, people will come online by the millions going, what is ONPASSIVE? And most of these people work online, or at least they think they're working online. And when they find out they can have all these tools and get all this traffic from one package, they're going to pass out. There's going to be MLM people coming up by the millions. I really believe that, because if they're going to see what I saw, they're going to see it. They got to see it. It's cheaper, higher quality, AI induced. You won't say no. Nobody's going to say no. No one.
And those people, they will come in under someone, because you have to come in under someone. Now remember, some of these MLM guys, for them to bring 100,000 in is a matter of a click of a button. So what happens if one of those guys sign up on your page and all of a sudden they say, boom, and they send their text out to 1 million people and only 100,000 of them come in? Is that going to help you? It's exciting stuff, Marty.
Yep, every day something like that could happen. You could go to bed one night with zero in your wallet, get up the next day with $20,000, $50,000. Now, I know that's far-fetched, but I'm just telling you,
it'll happen.
It'll happen. Yeah, I believe it'll happen.
And I think a lot of us are thinking too much, right? We are thinking way too much and worry too much and fear too much, right? For me, this is the easiest business that I ever been in, right? ONPASSIVE, it's the most simplest business. It's the easiest business that I've ever been in, and the business that I don't have to put the effort in. What did Mr.
Everything's done for you, Julie. Absolutely everything. I even hear people say, how am I going to build a good page for them to click on? You're not building the page.
Oh.
You're not doing any of it. They're going to do it. They're going to put your link in. There'll be hundreds of pages out there, thousands, and a rotator putting a different link in every page.
Right.
Every second, every minute that the rotator goes. You don't have to do nothing. The customer has a question, you don't have to answer it. They just get in your downline, and the next day, if you've got more money, they'll say, you got a commission from this. And that'll happen every day, every second, every minute. And you can take the money out right then. You could wait. My gosh, yeah, you don't have to do anything. Nothing.
Exactly. And a lot of people have sent a private message asking, do you know when is a marketing campaign started? Did you know it started the day that you sign in and become a founder of ONPASSIVE? That's a marketing campaign of ONPASSIVE. It's already started it, right? The big thing has started. And here's a thing though. If you go into your back office and you have the link number 50, when you open that link and you click on learn more or become founder of ONPASSIVE, click on it, it will be your directly link, your company, your business, right? Now, if you going to close that one down, clear all the history, right? And then go in and say onpassive.com, right? And when you click on become a founders, it's another person, right? It's not yours, it's another person. Now imagine someone have seen the marketing campaign in Dubai in those LED screen and see onpassive.com, they click on it and it happened to be your link. They sign up, it goes into your business. That's your new customer right there.
Absolutely. Listen, what you saw in Dubai is the biggest campaign on the planet ever. Ever, ever, ever. Right now it says onpassive.com. It can change just with a push of a button. When packages are ready, it can change it with a push of a button. Founders are signing up right now in OnPassive under founders this very minute. So you know, it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get bigger.
Absolutely. I love it, Marty. I love it, man. If you don't think you're in the biggest thing that's going, man, think again. I see we got one hand up. Let's get to Chris, and then Julie, maybe we'll close it down after that one. Chris, come on down, brother.
I'm not turning my camera because I'm full of must and dust here. Let me tell you something, Marty DeGarmo. You got me fired up. I'm bouncing off the walls right now. I just called Bill Musk and said I want a YouTube made from what Marty, Julie, and Milo were just talking about for the last 10 minutes. And when this YouTube is made, guys, I want you to blast it to your teams. I want you to blast it out to everybody, because everything he just said is what OnPassive is going to do for you. And you have no idea. I stopped doing what I was doing. I hit my head on the ceiling because I jumped so high. Guys, that's what OnPassive is about. That's what it means when it's all done for you. Stay fired up. My God, I hope Bill Musk is paying attention. I want to get this out, what Marty just said. Very, very important to let people know is what OnPassive will do for you. Marty DeGarmo, Milo, Julie, thank you. I'm going back to sanding and puttying again. Bye.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
He needs to cut back on the drinking, Milo. You know what I mean?
What a guy. What a guy. Love that guy. Love him. All right, Julie. Hey, it's been great having you guys on the show.
All is getting targeted traffic.
Alrighty, that was the end of the video.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I better get back to Chris. Chris, you finished that short video, so continue, and we will bring on our tech guys to carry on from there.
Hey, David, I just want to let you all know what the words that I heard Marty say today really did get me that fire up, because he said it. If you would have just actually combined everything he said in about 6 to 7 minutes, he said he hit every key point of OnPassive. Okay. And if you guys all really, I want you to keep listening to what he was saying, because it's very, very important to understand what OnPassive will do for us and everyone else. And that's really the point that you need to get across to everyone in the world is what will it do for them or for you? But tech guys, you got a lot of work to do now, because I got Marty firing you up. So David, back to you. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Okay. I'll just do a short pigeon comment here, and then I'll bring on each one of our tech guys to carry on and explain the process to how we got here and what the company is going to do for us.
We cannot hear you now.
Alex, you can hear me? Hello?
It's fine, David.
It's fine.
Okay, okay, David, that's good.
Yeah, we can hear you, David.
All right. Okay, Papua New Guinea, Yumi Lukim Sla short video ya. Mati digamo emi tok long one something by company make him. you na mi tu pla by no na making one pla work lo this la business. No would you me o fall it na imi to ko mi no sa lo technology, mi no sa lo computer, mi no sa lo internet. How by me working this la business? Na mi pay this la 400 kina na mi by working one something through na by me can generate money lo here. Taso lo sem sila lili kapsot la presentation na mi tok ya. Mi tok long explaining company by making all the work blow you know not blow making one plus something. Company by marketing you know you by marketing company by marketing you na all the customer uset by coming set ya. You mi tok sem target traffic where customer only ready lo buying product blow you na all lo finding product ya stop ya. Time or looking stop blow you open na all looking all by coming tasol. Now all by start long payment. So this la legally capsule la video mi by kisim go back end long online beli mi long all technical line beli mi ball tok lo how this la company only set him up na come na when walk we go inside lo this la company long come up him this la company come lo place where now you na me stop long and lo ready long looking this la big pla launching by come up. So you plus sit down is it sol na you me can harem one something all tech guys beli by tok. Thank you. I just explained that the business is a fully automated business. You and I will not have to do anything. The company will do everything for us. We just need to sit down and listen to our tech guys to give a background as to the process it did in order to bring it to this stage where we are now going into the live marketing. So thank you. I'd like to call first up, if I may, Vincent Ete. Can you come on and you can unmute and you can speak, or either one of you, Vincent or Collins, which one?
Yeah,
is,
David, I'll start.
Okay.
I'll come first.
Okay, thank you, Collins.
Yeah, so just want to greet New Guinea again. We are here to explain the process. I would like to thank Madi for bringing us here. Now it's already 5, almost 5:45 UK time. But we are still fired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, we're still happy to be here to explain. Hi, Chris, love you, and Lynn. So we're together again to talk about the process. We would like to talk about software development life cycle. We're thinking about talking about data center, but we said it's better to share with the founders how software is being developed and where we started, ONPASSIVE started, and where we are now in the process of software development. Because what is happening here is a lot of founders don't really understand that ONPASSIVE is an IT company and they build real solutions. So we're trying to bring this knowledge to the founders so they can have patience, you know, and believe in the process. Because sometimes we get this information where founders are saying, when are they going to launch? It's taking too long, you know. But we are saying that it's not taking too long. Mr. Ashbufara just got half of the time, you know, because when we look at other products like Google, Facebook, it takes them long time to build, but we just come as founders because we didn't know anything. We're not even founders of those companies. We came in and we participate. We use the products, but we don't know the pain and the agony, you know, they went through to build this product. But what is happening is we as customers, we just come at the tail end and we enjoy the products, use it for our own stuff. So as ONPASSIVE, looking at ONPASSIVE is also that massive company. And we don't have only one, we don't have two, we don't have three, we have dozens of products. And it took us just half the time. We're talking about 1.5 years because sometimes people said ONPASSIVE started 3 years. Yes, it started 3 years, but when did they start to build this product? Just 1.5 years ago. You know, we're talking about the thousands of hundreds of employees in Hyderabad. It's not easy to get all of those people of different variety, knowledge, and, you know, and skill set to put them together, you know, rent a place, you know, lease a building to put them, because you can't just leave them on the fly. You need to bring them together. You need to buy all those equipment. It costs a lot of money, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to put all of those things together, you know. And with looking at COVID again, when COVID hit, Mr. Ashmufara was able to pull them all together again to make sure they keep to the process and time. You know, it is really amazing the way Mr. Ashmofara pulled this thing together, you know, in a short possible time. So what we are telling the founders, we are in a very good company, you know, something that has never been done before, never ever been done before, you know, looking at the technology, the everything and the process to build this, you cannot skip a process. You know, we as IT tech sitting here, we know the process, we understand the process very well. We know the pain and the suffering when it comes to build technology like this, because we are involved in different companies, building technology and software for them. We know the pain and the suffering. So when we look at ONPASSIVE as well, it is no different, but it is the process, because you cannot skip the process. When I was speaking to our brother before we came together, Oliver and Brother Vincent, Brother Bob, we look at everything and we said, we know it will take 10 years to put ONPASSIVE. That's what we believe. We said the only way Mr. Ashmofara can pull this together is to bring hundreds of programmers, hundreds of them, because if you want to build one single product, so we split, we said, let's take only OMail. How many engineers you need to use to build OMail? We said, okay, that is one of the smallest, we look at the smallest product, even old chart. We said you need 25 of them of different expertise to build it, really build it in a short possible time. Like this possible time means it will take 1 year to build it. You need about 25 engineers, the managers, the programmers of different, the testers, you know, the support, you know, we call it database administrator, database developers. I can go on and on. You need those people of different skill set to put them together to build that. It will take them 1 year. If you follow the process, you need 25 to take 1 year. We are talking about one product, one of the products, and then talk about the dozens, the big products, like for instance, all staff is massive. You need about 50 engineers, 50 to build only all staff. We split them down based on the component. You need 50 of them. So if you start to go product by product, you know, Mr. Ashmofara have just pulled this, and we're talking about 800 to 1,000 engineers. It costs a lot of money, because one, if we look at like the most cheapest engineers you can pay in United Kingdom, which is first line support, you will not pay them a year 25,000 pounds. They will never. We are talking now is 26,000 pounds a year to pay first line support. Is the cheapest engineer, IT engineer, if you want to hire them, is 26 to 25,000 pounds. So a year. Then we're talking about hundreds of thousands. We're talking about hundreds of engineers, and we're talking about Mr. Ash is still going on hiring. So what we are saying here is, before I share my screen, I just want to bring this to light for the founders to understand this, that we are in a good shape, the best company and good CEO, because no company will hire a lot of engineers like that. No company, they'll just decide to go with a few 100 or 200, take their time, 10 years. You want to be a founder, fine. If you think like you are bored, okay, you take the door. And when they are ready, they will put it in the market and make hundreds of billions of dollars, you know. But we are just happy because Mr. Ashmofara is just a generous man. We say this. So I will share my screen. If Marty Degamo or Lynn can give me a co-host, let me share my screen and we talk about software development. So you guys see what is happening, what we think as IT tech. That's what, from our own perspective, what is happening behind the scene. 90% of the job we don't see. We only see 10% of what Mr. Ashmofara is coming to show us. The 90% of the pain and the suffering, that's what I want to share for us all to see what is happening behind the scene. All right, I'll share my screen. Let me share. Sorry, we're just looking at data center at the point, but don't worry. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Thumb up. All right, that's good.
Yes, yes.
We are talking about software development life cycle. So what is software development life cycle? It says it's a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test high quality software. That is the software development, SDLC. Mr. Ajmufara always use this word, SDLC, software development life cycle. So we said we should bring it to the founders to understand how technology is being built. Now, that's the process. You know, there is no way you can build a software of any age, be it OMail, OChat, you know, name them, OTracker, everything we have in the back office, even the old founder page goes through this life cycle. You know, it's a process, technology, how software company or industry used to develop their software, you know, and they cannot skip any process. So the first stage we look at this. What is the aim? You know, the aim of software development of SDLC is aim to produce high quality software that meets or exceed customer expectation. You know, so without this, you cannot meet your customer or you cannot exceed their expectation. Now it starts with what you are seeing here. You know, we talk about a project kickoff, initiation. Okay, let's look at Mr. Ajmufara. He comes up with the idea 2018. He already knows what he wants to achieve. Everything is just in his brain. You know, he's thinking like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this. Everything is there. Come down and then select some few people, like engineers, call them, put them down and said, this is what I want to do. You know, can we achieve it? They say, yes, we can do it, because if you provide us with A, B, C, D, everything, we can do it. That is what is called project kickoff. They say, okay, let's start it. Let's go, right on. Now they start to gather all the information that Mr. Ajmufara had in his head, brain. And this process from project kickoff to requirement gathering, it can take even a week, or 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, because it's just front and back process. If you don't get it right, you need to go back and ask Mr. Ajmufara, what did you mean by this? What did you mean by this? Are we getting it right? They say, yes, we are getting it right. No, wrong. Tell us what is wrong. Because you cannot move from one stage to the other phase without getting it correct. You must get the precise information. If not, your software will be wrong. What is coming out will be devastated and nobody will even like it. So you must get it right as you move down the cycle. So once they get it right from the project kickoff to requirement, Mr. Ajmufara said, yes, this is good. This is what I said. Everything they are putting down in a documentation form. Now, they will move now to the analysis, how they analyze it. You know, they said, okay, this is what we need to do. They break it down into something, you know. And again, with this requirement gathering, they will look at all the, you know, the laws. It's not only writing the software down, how will it impact different countries? What are the laws of different countries? Because you want to sell this software globally. Do we have this document? Do we have the policies? What if we don't do this? How will the government come and attack us? All of those things. You need to get all of those things, policies, you know, all the laws, all the legal binding, everything, you know, it is part of the software development, because you build something that will come and affect people, know that they'll ban your company, jail you. It is terrible. So it's not something, that's not the good side. Mr. Ajmufara always tells us that if they tell us the worst side, a lot of people will run away, because this is what we see every day. Now you come to analysis. From there, you start to analyze what you need to do. What are the legalities? You know, that's how software goes. And the same time, they are testing security, all of those things. You need to ask yourself, Oliver will talk about the security part of it. You know, the database, everything is just need to go in place. From there, from this phase to this phase, it can take even a year or a month, because if you don't get it right, you don't know. So it's just like a slow pace. You must get one stage right before you move to the next phase. Now, from analysis, they'll go into design. The design now is how the engineers will come, design, maybe, you know, go around, look at how the structure will be, you know, how the dashboard will look like, all of those things. These are the design, you know, how they'll test it, what are the codes that are involved, all of those things, you know, how many engineers you need to do whatever, all of those things, what are their expertise, their experience, group them together. Though you've hired them, you need to group them together. Now that is a design phase. From there, and from this phase to this phase, it can take even 6 months. From project kickoff to design, it can take maybe 6 months to 1 year. You're still there. depending on the number of people you have. So some company, if they want to go very cheap, they say, okay, we need only 70. We don't mind if we take 10 years or 5 years, we'll take our time. We can't rush it. Now from design, you need to move to development. That is where the real work starts, where you start to write the code, write everything. You know, every time you write, you need to verify and make sure you've not missed anything, because by the time you are doing development, you are checking the design, you're checking analysis, checking requirement, bringing Mr. Ash Mofara, asking, are we doing it right? Yeah, go ahead. No, wrong. And we remember how many times they changed the old founder page, how many times they've changed product. Mr. Ash Mofara will come and tell us, well, we did this, it wasn't what we want, we scrap everything. That is loss of money. It's a lot of money to scrap it, because remember, you are paying those engineers monthly. So if Mr. Ash Mofara come and said, we don't want this thing, you still have to pay them because they have family to feed. That's what people don't really get it. You said, no, we don't want it. Yes, we have already worked, you have to pay us. You know, you don't pay them, they'll leave. So they are just doing it, going, you know, mistakes come, they correct and they continue. You know, it is a lot of money involved and lot of effort, lot of hard work, you know, sleepless night. You know, from development, move to testing. You know, once they build the test wrong, they go back to development. You know, the testers will say, you know what, it's not right, it's not going according to the requirement. They have to go back to development, fix and test, fix and test, fix and test. And those process of testing in-house is called alpha testing, you know, so they can test, and the different process of testing. You have, you know, they'll talk about unit testing, you know, they talk about functional testing, regression testing, you know, performance testing, penetration, all of those types, they are all out. You know, static testing, dynamic, all of those things, you have to check and make sure the software is really solid. It's like building a house, punching the wall, making sure the wall cannot break, you know, test it with everything. You know, that's why Mr. Andrew will come out and say, go and break it if you think you can break it, because they have done all of those things. They have hammered and battered that software, make sure the software is strong and nothing can happen. From there, you know, they'll bring it to us. Now they say, this is beta time. They bring it, which is still part of the testing. That's why when we said we are just seeing 10% of what has been done, even we are seeing even 5%, I cannot say 10%, 5% of what we are seeing the finished product, go and do beta testing. We see little wrinkles we report. The majority of the thing we are seeing, they already know it, because the moment you touch that software, they have a system that captures all the movement and can say, oh, there's an error here, we can fix it. So by the time Martin will say, don't worry, they know about it, because the moment you are clicking signing off, they are seeing everything, you know, in the system, how the system is running, capturing everything, fixing it before you even know. And then from there, when we do beta testing, that is when we go deployment to the live environment. Now we are in the last phase, So we always tell everybody, what we are saying now, Mr. Ash is happy, is because we are in the final stage. After beta testing, we are going operational, because deployment means we are going to operational. And that's why Mr. Ash is coming now, doing all these events we are seeing, because we are already ready to go, All the pain from here, 3 years, we are talking 1.5 years to build all these products and services. Honestly, it's like a miracle to me. That's what I said. Brother Oliver will testify this. Brother Vincent, it is a miracle, because nobody can do this with that number of engineers. Because we said for Mr. Ash to pull this, you need to get hundreds of engineers. You don't need to get 70, 100. You will not go anywhere. No, that 100 or 200 with the amount of project we have, you need to really have lots and lots of engineers to do it for short time, and 1.5 years or 2 years, 3 years. So now let's look at the other part of software development. There are different methodology to build software. Some company will go using waterfall methodology. It's like planning, requirement, design, you know, software developers, development, testing, deployment, and operational. Some will use that method of development, but it is still software development. Some company will use V model, which is verification and validation. So you build, you test, you build, you test, you build, you test, you write the code, you test. So you verify, you're asking yourself, have we built the software right? Then validation is about, does it meet the requirement? What Mr. Ash Mofara said, is it really meeting the requirement? If not, then let's go back. Some company use that. So there are different methodology. But what we as ONPASSIVE are using, because based on what the terminology Mr. Ashmofara is using, he always come to me and say, oh, we'll build that in the next sprint. We'll do that in the next phase, in the next days. So this is the method we are using in ONPASSIVE, Agile Scrum methodology. It is a fast-paced way of building software, because based on what Mr. Ash will say, some of us have worked in most of these, because I have worked in Waterfall, I've worked in V model, I've worked in Agile Scrum, you know. So when you use a terminology, I can easily point out, oh, this is the methodology you are working on. Mr. Ashmofara always talk about sprint. And sprint is what? It's a time box way of building software. So you plan it, you said, okay, I want to build it in 2 hours. Can I build it? Can I achieve it? I want to build it in 3 days. Can I build it? So sprint means time box. So you cannot miss that time. You know, you give a time frame of building. So you build it in sprint and you move to the next sprint. You build it and you move to the next sprint. So then I think that is the short overview of how we build software in the software development lifecycle. But there's a lot of work behind, and then you plan, you build, you plan, you build, and that is how it is. So I should run very, very high level. So it is not something that you need to put in your brain, but just to demonstrate what happened behind the scene, which we don't know. A lot of founders don't know, but it's a pain and hard work to build software. So I'll leave it there, and Bro Oliver can take over.
Yeah, hi everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Thank you very much, Bro Collins. You did a wonderful job. Chris Johnson and Maddie, man, you guys fire me up, man. You guys just fire me up with the traffic, the traffic stuff. You guys make me now. I'm flying. You know, wonderful presentation, Collins. Look, we have to understand also that all our products, they're stand-alone products. You've seen the system with software development lifecycle, but we should remember that all those products have been built with AI, artificial intelligence, 100% automated, and the integration part of it. Collins just show us how it's being built, you know, the whole life cycle, but each of them come with all with those 3 parts. Our trademark is these 3: AI, artificial intelligence, automation, and integration. These are the part that most companies and their products, the tech company and their products, they've not done what we've done from scratch. AI from scratch, automation from scratch, integration from scratch. So we will have to understand this, and this is another different method that it will take again a long period before a company will come achieve a product with AI. A product has 100% automation. A product that can be integrated, we can integrate them. You know, so we have to understand this. So the length of time that the CEO has taken to put each of these products that we have now in the back office, now we can see 7 products plus our own founder. That's 8. If you ask me, an IT person, I'll say between 5 to 8 years. Between 5 to 8 years. But I think we've taken about 3 years now. Like my brother Bob keeps saying that we are going to be in the Guinness Book of Record, or we are going to be, Mr. Ashmofara is going to have a Nobel Peace Prize for the structure that he has put in place, the length of time that he has put to achieve what we've achieved is a miracle. It's a miracle. We should understand this. As an IT person, in fact, I'm like, what we are doing, what the CEO has done with the guys in Hyderabad is, I've not seen it before. I've not seen it before. Let me go now into that system development lifecycle. Let me talk about the security part of it, what Collins just showed. From that design, I'll take from the designing part coming down. From that design, they have to make sure that each of the phases of that development lifecycle, there's security in. The developers, they have to come in now and make sure the code that they are writing for those products, there must be a security. They must build a security in there. When the developers come in now, they finish with their part, the integration part also, they also have to come with the security part of it. The networking phase also, they have to come also with the security part of it. When they go to the alpha testing, before it comes to the beta testing to us, they have to make sure that the testing part, the security part also is in there. Before it gets to us for beta testing, they should make sure that they must have tested it. I keep saying all that, I always use that word in a non-production environment, that they know it's a replicate of the production environment. They have to test all the phases with the security, everything, to make sure that the testing phase, they pass all the testing phases with the security that is there. They also go to the AI also. They have to test it also. The integration, they have to test it. The automation, they have to test it. This is each product is this goes through the same life cycle. Each of the products go through the same life cycle with the security. Because without the security, if we build the product, somebody come and hack. Remember that we are talking about data there. No matter whatever thing we are building, it boils down to the data and how we must protect the data. Data are trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. My big brother Marty Degamo always said that data, we'll build all these products, it boils down to data. And it has to be protected. And I'm very happy that our CEO, he is so particular about the security of our data and the technology that he has used around each of these products. Even our data center, they are sophisticated and superior. So we are in the very, very, very better place. I'm so proud. I'm so proud and a very proud man. As an IT person, I found myself in this revolutionary company with IT products that when I look at it, it's history. It's something that I've been in the industry going to 24 years, I've not seen. Again, with AI. And the CEO has used all the future of artificial intelligence in everything. I was so fired when I heard Marty Degamo and Chris Johnson, they were talking about how AI is going to bring traffic to us. This is a miracle. Our CEO has worked a lot with those guys in Hyderabad to put everything together. Let me just touch a little bit also about our data center that uses also. The CEO told us last time that ONPASSIVE is not going to have a 2020 data center, AI data center. That our data center is going to be AI, artificial intelligence data center. We are talking about high-level technology with security. After they've put all those products together, using the system development lifecycle. That's why I said, if you ask me as an IT person, I'll say minimum is 5 years for what we've done, where we are now. We would have taken we'll take about 5 to 8 years to finish, to be where we are now. Because when he also came and said our data center, in fact, the first one will be done by the end of this April, I was like, are you kidding me? You started it when? That was a question. I started asking myself, you started it when? And you are talking about AI data center here. And it's hybrid. It's a data center and AI cloud center. It's hybrid. I was like, Ash Mufara, please, sir, are you kidding me? So we should understand the technology that is behind all what the CEO is they are doing with the guys in Hyderabad. What he's doing with the guys in Hyderabad, I'm sorry. So we have 5G. We have IPv6. We have that is hybrid also with IPv4. These are sophisticated technology. Come again, we have our data center is also hybrid. We use fiber optic cable. The first time I saw the pictures, that was about 1 year ago, I saw some of the pictures, how bright the pictures are. Then when I look at the speed, I told Collins, I told Bob, I said, we must be using fiber optic cables. We must be using fiber optic cable. And when the CEO came out and said that, yes, we are using fiber optic cable, I said, what? I said it. I said it. It comes with its own personal security. Like the IPv6 come with its own security. That's why if you look at our omail.ai, we have no folder for junk mail or junk mail, or how do you call the other one? You know?
Spam folder.
Spam folder. Thank you, thank you, Lynn. We don't have it. But when you go to Yahoo, Gmail, you go to Gmail, Yahoo, and the rest, they don't have all those spams. I will delete those spams, or I will delete them. But the following day, I'll still have about 500 coming. But with our omail.ai, we will not see anything like that. Nothing. Tell me who will not come to ONPASSIVE to buy. Tell me who will not come. Our products are sophisticated. They are superior, and the security. That's why Bob always talk about, or we the tech guys in here with the four of us always talk about the SSS. The SSS. The superior, sophisticated, and secured. So where we are, we should be proud. We should be proud to be an ONPASSIVE founder. By the time he will get into the market in the few weeks to come or months, like the CEO said, that we are walking into the market like the boss. He knows what he is saying, because from our products passing through the system of software development life cycle, through all this process, and how sophisticated our technology that we are using. Coming now, and I remember that our technology, we will also use our technology in traffic, AI in traffic, like what Maddie just said, and Chris. So all around, anything that is surrounding ONPASSIVE, we are ahead of the game already. We are ahead of the game. I've just quoted an example with omail.ai. We don't have any spam folder. We don't have junk folder. All our products, they are being built with from scratch, from ground up, with AI. 100% automated integration. I was also happy when the CEO told us that we have an AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning department in Hyderabad. I was like, wow, are you kidding me? To have one data scientist is a lot of money. The as from 5 years, payment should be here in the United States that I know is above 300,000 a year. Fresh from school is from 150 to 170. There are few of them because they take data, scramble data, play with the data. Now we have a department, I call it now an AI research center, ONPASSIVE research, AI research center, that they'll be training all the junior level AI. That's why when you see our CEO comes out and say, we are ahead of all the other tech companies, he knows why. Because of all this, he has done his homework. He has done his homework. And truly, we are ahead of them in everything. ONPASSIVE is ahead of the tech companies. Most of them, they'll go and buy products. For example, I don't like to call them. Let's say Facebook. I don't like to call the name. WhatsApp, they bought it. They revamp it, put in the market. Instagram, the same. Look at Microsoft. They'll buy products. Microsoft just bought about 2-3 years ago one AI company that they want to build only for finance and healthcare. That they want to build with artificial intelligence. But what they're doing, like Bob said, reverse engineering. They are patching. What does patch mean? I think we'll talk about that on Friday, yesterday. They'll go and get a product, they start to add AI bit by bit. It will not be the same like ONPASSIVE products have AI from scratch. It will not be the same. So how do you want to compare with us? And already we have a template. ONPASSIVE, we do have a template that if you call Mr. Ash Mufara that, okay, we need a new product. We have a new product now that we want. This is the idea. How long will it take you to build? Because we have that AI template already with a system development lifecycle that everything's on that template. Bam, he will say 6 months, 5 months, it's done. Other tech companies, they don't have. Other companies, they don't have. I heard him again say about the other day that children's, how do you call him? In Dubai, that there will be a children's department, that children will come there. Are you kidding me?
Junior.
Oh, junior.
Junior.
Oh,
Right.
junior. We should remember that our children are smart. My daughter is here 14 years old. I'm an IT person, almost 24 years experience in IT. There's some little things I don't know. I called her to come and show me, to come and do it for me. So just imagine that you take all these kids, take them to Dubai. They go and play with our products. They will give wonderful suggestions. That takes us again ahead of the game. We are ahead of the game all around. Well, I can talk and talk and talk and talk. Let me leave it there for my brother Vincent to take over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my brother Oliver. That's a wonderful presentation. And thank you also, Collins, for giving ahead the software life cycle development. Thank you, Collins. Thank you, Antolin. Thank you, Marty and Chris, for this marketing stuff. This is a mind blow because we learn a lot from the marketing stuff as well. So thank you, guys. And thank you, David, for inviting us in this webinar. So I know Collins and my brother Oliver talk us about the software life cycle development system. So we can talk about software life cycle developments without saying anything about the database, because the database is also play a big part of the software development life cycle, because the reason for that, we need a database. First of all, let me trying to break it down so for people to understand about the technology added to what Colin said. There's also a bit of the information where we need a database to develop, to build the software. So a database in the software lifecycle is like a room in the office. So a room in the office where all the files and important information can be stored relating to a project. So this is how the database is seen in the life cycle development. So is every company need a database to store and organize the information. So in that, also that information can be stored and then can be very sensitive, because we have all the information of our company in there. So the information is sensitive. So we also we have to be careful while maybe accessing or manipulating the data, the information in the database. So this is thinking very important for any company building software. So that part is very important. And then also the database area, we need also get information in there. We need a control to the database. Like my brother Oliver said, the security part of the database also is important. And then every aspect of the database, even the controlling the database, also the development is also part of the development life cycle. So we need also to take care of the development and then make sure that everything, the testing, we are happy for the information we are accessing in there, the information we put in the database. Once we are happy of everything, also on top of all that, we make sure that the integration is okay with our system we are looking for. And then back to the last part, we need also to do the testing. So when we do the testing, we make sure that everything is fine before our database can go live. And then when the database can go live, there's also a lot of security behind the database we need to also apply to it. We need to make sure that we can back up the database, make sure also in case we have any issues with our system, we can use the backup we put in place to restore the system. So restoring the system in maybe a minute time, there's a way we can restore the system to a minute, we can restore to a month, we can restore to a year. So all this, we need to apply all these technologies to the database before we can say, okay, the software is ready. But also that our office, because the database is like our office, we need to make sure that the office also is ready to get all the information, everything we are doing in the house. So it's also very important that we get that also together. And also one part of the database also, we have to make sure that the database is also reliable, available, scalability of the database, and then the availability of the database. Make sure that we have the database available to our customers, to our employees, to our company, 100% available at all time, zero tolerance. And then the scalability should be also available for the customers or for our company, so that anything, anytime, any hours, we want to get any information, we should be able to get the information. That's the very important part of the database for a company. So without the database, the company also is like, we have a company without an office. So the database play a big role in the company. It's like an office in the company where everyone, a room in the office, so everyone can go in, get information and come out, go for meeting, everything. So this is how the database, the key role of the database in our software development lifecycle. So I will leave it here today and then ask Auntie Lynn to take over. Thank you, guys.
All right. I don't know if I should take over, but I guess it's this time for people to ask questions or make comments, right, David? Would you agree? So we have Alcatel 1X. I think he's had his hand raised for some time.
Correct. Okay. Before Alcatel comes on, I'll just emphasize what our three tech guys have elaborated on. Thank you very much, Collins, and thank you very much, Oliver. Thank you, Vincent, for appearing this afternoon in PNG. It's early morning hours in UK, I know, for Collins, and it's midnight hours for you guys in US. So thank you for the sacrifice you've made to appear on our webinar to help us to understand. You know, a lot of us here think it is an easy job, you know, and some of us have been founders for 2 years, 1 year only, and we are complaining that the company hasn't launched yet, you know, because we have come in with a mindset of a multi-level marketing company and thinking that ONPASSIVE is a multi-level marketing company, and that's why they've been asking, when is it launching? When is it launching? But thank you very much for this explanation. At least it's giving us so much information into the background on what is really happening behind the scenes. And, you know, you rightly said, you know, has cut down the time scale. You know, we've seen Google, we've seen Facebook, they took years to come on and launch, but, you know, they're only launching with 1 product or 2 products, but we have massive, you know, 51 products in line, in the pipeline. And we have already 8 in our back office. So with your explanation, it gives us the understanding of the sacrifice and the work and the expense, the cost that has been involved. So our people in Papua New Guinea, please, if you're a founder and if you have people asking you, you know, when is it launching, understand this. ONPASSIVE is not a small company. ONPASSIVE is not a small taka shop, as we call it. It's a tin shed company, business where you put up a small box and you start to sell products. No, ONPASSIVE is not like that. Ash Mufara is a man of integrity and of very high standard. And he brings to us quality, and he wants to lift our lives, bring us up to the level where he's at, so that we all be able to share that quality of life together with the company that he's placed us in. So thank you very much, Collins. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Oliver, for sharing that with us. So I'll just translate into Pidgin a bit, and then we can open it up for questions. So Yumi, all Papua New Guinea, o semito please lo Inglesa, tasol. Yumi online Yumi stalo place, suppose you stop lo place, you oklo look now. You stop lo town one time sample family, na you oklo look now inside lo this la webinar. Suppose you stop live or behind by you play him or you go to YouTube na you kiss him na you watch him and me like talk sao lo you osem company me pla stop involved long em this pla company and one pla technology company and new pla company and big pla company legal company so all tripla all experience line long inside lo this la work long IT all you got namelong all osem close to all say toka 90 years of experience all put him on 10 triple ya. So you can scale him. Experience belong all one section law tasol. You me law on passive. Bossman CEO blow me ash mufara. Me bring him to the company. Me kiss him close to law 1,000 man Mary all engineers. Na all come na all build him this la company. Na look him inside law this la short la time is 2 years. Me join long 2019 na 2019 me no got product. You me talk tasol, talk tasol. Now I come long 2020 now. You me start looking sample products story build him now. Now I'll start talk now. And 2021 now you me look him all. Inside long office lo me pla. So I'm taking short time lo build him this la all this la company na this la product here. Tasol suppose you look him how I explain him. I'm no legally work. So I'm no legally work. Inside lo one pla founder position to you by owning close to some 50 plus company plus one plus product and one plus standalone company or some Oliver and talk. One plus product is a standalone. One product is a standalone company on its own. So me like encouraging you like Sawel or this like company. So no can thinking of some this like kind legal company no got thinking blue must go up. Send him thinking blue na bring him thinking blue go on top. Now, suppose you found a finish, you must have a mass. Or some you stop inside of the company because life blew by change. You do not make one flower. Thank you. I'll just bring it back here in back to the floor. And as Oliver touched on, all these products are standalone products. They can become standalone companies. What we may not understand is a founder position. When you buy out a founder position, you own 50 plus companies inside that one account, and it's mind blowing. You can only build your business around one product if you want to stick on with one product. But all the work is done for us. You don't have to do anything, as Mati was saying. We don't have to do anything. Everything is being done by the company. We can just relax. One time I heard Collins was repeating what Mati usually said. He said, all we have to, or Collins or Bob, one of them said, all you have to know, or all we have to know is know how to transfer your money from your wallet into your bank account. That's all you need to know. Otherwise, everything is done for you. Thank you. I'll open up the floor for questions, and thank you. Alcatel 1X. One name Blue, suppose you come on, you put it, ask him, give him name Blue, now you can talk. Alcatel 1X is probably gone.
I don't see him anymore.
Okay, he's gone. Oh. Anyway, the floor is open. Mary, yes, you have your hand up. Mary Carroll, come on, you can unmute and speak.
Good morning, good evening, and yes, good day. Oh man. That was definitely the sort of clarification that we needed. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Oliver, and thank you, Collins. Collins, I enjoyed your presentation very much, as well as the others, but it took us through that cycle, and where many of us have been wondering when the launching would take place. We fully understand that it has taken this time and may take longer because of the time, the analysis all the checks that they have to go through before it comes online. And as we all know, Ash Mufari is a man of very, very high standards. So his integrity is unquestionable. So whatever is being done now for us, for the future, is such a extraordinary and magnificent thing. I thank God for that. And I just want to, maybe I wasn't in a session when this was discussed. So if I may ask a question like, when do we individually get our websites? And when do we get our own wallets? And how do we go about understanding that they're on hand? Thank you.
I will probably ask Marty or Chris. One of you can answer that for Mary if you know, or give us an indication. Is Marty there?
David, can you repeat that question? My internet is horrible and it was breaking up like crazy.
Mary, you repeat your question.
Sure. Thank you. Chris, my questions were, maybe I've not listened into a webinar that has discussed these issues. Maybe I've missed out. So if I'm ahead of time and I'm asking these questions, please let me know. I will understand. Question one was, how do we know when we've got our websites, individual websites? Two, also for the old wallets, so we know how to maneuver. Thank you.
Hey, Mary. Hey, good questions. We don't know yet, Mary. You are, of course, I love it that you're ahead of the game, but we're going to wait for Ash Mufari to talk about that. We have not gotten to that point just yet, but I'm hoping that you can ask me that question in the next few weeks and I can answer it for you. But right now, that's a little far ahead and we're going to wait for Ash Mufari to break it out to us. But Mary, I like the way you think. I really do.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that.
You're
and
very
as I
welcome,
said,
Mary.
I could be ahead of, I could be ahead in the questions, but I have also missed out on a lot of webinars, so I'm sorry about that.
Mary, you don't have to say sorry. Mary, you can always text any one of us anytime and we'll let you know what's going on. We can't always make every webinar, but remember they are recorded, but do never, ever be afraid to reach out to one of us and we'll always help you out, Mary. You have my promise and my word on that.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, we have Veronica. Veronica, please unmute and come on. Veronica is one of our Leadership Council members from Papua New Guinea, serving with me on the LC board. Thank you.
David, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to our brothers, our tech team, Collins, Mana, Oliver Fonte, and Vincent Eke. Thank you very much for helping us to understand all the work that goes on behind the scenes and the complexities of each product and how the whole thing gets done. I mean, we don't fully appreciate what really happens behind the scene, but your explanation has helped us to appreciate in a lot of ways. Appreciate the fact that, you know, this company, Ash has spent so much, he's put in a lot of effort He's got a great team in Hyderabad, and they're putting a lot of effort into making this company come together to bring the products to the market for us. I don't really have a lot of questions, just one question. And that is, you said that if at any stage in that cycle, something goes wrong with the product, or there is, then you need to go back and do it up again. Does that mean the team then goes back right to the start? What actually happens, if you can explain that? Because I remember Ash said, I think it was in one of last year's webinar, and he said, if something goes wrong along the way, we have to redo everything. But I didn't really understand what he meant by that until now. And now that you explained the cycle and you put up the presentation on the cycle and what it takes to get from start to finish. So if you could maybe explain to us what happens when something does not, when there is a glitch, and the team has to go back again and work on the product.
I can explain a little bit and then somebody could follow through. I'll give you an example. They did a lot of modifications. Remember when we had GoFounder's site? They were going to modify it and turn it into OFounder if they could. But it needed so much work that it would be choppy. It wouldn't run very smooth. So Ash said, forget it. Let's just build OFounder. And then sometime when Ash got sick last year, remember he was sick for about a month, and they were supposed to be working on an OFounder while he was sick. When he got back, he found that not only was it not as good as it was when he got ill, but maybe worse. And he looked at it, didn't like the way it moved. It was too slow, just stuff that he saw. He didn't get into detail, and he rebuilt it. Now, some of the time you can go in and fix it. You can. But also there's times, especially with Ashwipara, when he does it, because he's not looking at cost. He wants the best of the best. So if you throw enough Band-Aids on it, sometimes you can't stop the bleeding, and it doesn't do what you want it to do unless you go back and redo it. Now, he doesn't want to do that every time. Now, when we get past beta testing and it's a full-blown product, you're not going to see that rebuilt. They'll add to it. They can add to it as years go on. But when they get to that point, they pretty much, if they rebuild it, you don't even know it. Like Academy was rebuilt twice. The original, what we saw a year ago, and they rebuilt the whole thing again. And it was little thing. It was stuff that Ash did not like, because he looked, well, if it's a medium size or a large size, and he went back and said, no, rebuild it. Now, obviously the tech guys are going, oh my gosh, but they're getting paid. They went back and rebuilt it. And now it's what Ash wanted. And that goes on in the tech world. Now, a lot of companies cut corners. Ashwipara doesn't think about the costs. Thank God. He thinks about quality. And when he's done and it's integrated, see, that's where the thing I don't think people look at. If you were just building Zoom, okay, but if you were building Zoom to interlock with 49 other products, to interlock with 200,000 different currencies, to interlock with 800 languages, it's a different animal. It's a totally different animal. And they're all going to link together somehow. So that's where the big technology comes in. But he rebuilds, Veronica, when it gets to the point that I believe he'll patch, he'll do some modifications. But after the modification, if it's not what he wants in his head, he'll redo it. That's just who he is. Now, a lot of companies don't go that far. The tech guys can tell you that. They cut corners if they can because it's expensive. And Muparu's not thinking about cost. He's thinking about being the best. So it's a plus for us. It does take a little longer, but when the baby's born, you're not going to have an ugly kid, you know? So that's all.
Yeah, Marty, you just said it all. Yeah, because the cost of repairing something is just like you have an old car and you think every time you're spending a lot of money, sometimes you look at the cost, you say, you know what, it's better I get a new one. And that's what a lot of people don't really know. If they show you, like, they open the code and you can see within the code, you see what a lot of companies are doing, those patches. Honestly, my God, you will not even want to buy any software. It's just like flying on a plane and you say, my God, this plane can crash anytime if they show you what is happening. But what Mr. Ash Mofara, the beauty about Mr. Ash Mofara, he doesn't like to cut corner because he can see the code and you know, my God, it's really messy. Please, can we change it and just fix it? Just build new one, just build it from scratch so everything is clean. You know, and that is the beauty about ONPASSIVE. That's why we see things moving so fast, you know, so smooth, because he doesn't want to have all those too many patches. Because ONPASSIVE is still a new company, right? We're still growing and we want to be proper solution. Just imagine if you start to patch from the beginning. At one point, you cannot make any changes because it's like you build, like, for instance, we saw the Burj Khalifa, right? The foundation is not great. You cannot put all those story building. You cannot put all those height because at one point, everything will just fall apart. That's what is happening with IT, especially we are just coming. New technology, you need to keep it clean, everything clean, so nice. So you don't need to have all those too many patches like other companies, they want to just throw everything in the market. You know, you look at it and you say, my God, I can't even use this. I can't even use this. There are software we will look at it and say, no, this software is really bad. You know, because we can look at the code and say, no, who wrote this code? Who wrote this thing? It's really bad. You know, but when you look at the front like the Zoom, we're looking at Zoom now. If they show you what is behind Zoom, my God, you will not even want to use Zoom. So I just want to put that. That's why when Mr. Ash look at it, that when I demonstrate the software, the only thing is the idea is in Mr. Ash's head. He knows what he wants to achieve. And when things goes wrong, the way, say, someone go and do something nasty, build it not according to the plan Mr. Ash want, you need to go back and revisit the process. And when Mr. Ash look at it and say, what is happening? No, this is not what I want. They can either decide to scrap everything, as Marty said, rebuild it, or if it's something they can fix it a little bit, they can fix it and continue. But you cannot compromise any stage, because you compromise one stage, you get a very bad software. That's what I wanted to add.
Wow, thank you. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for that. And I have Alex Moinge. Yes, Alex, you can unmute and you can ask your question.
Hello, good afternoon, my brother David and our host who are here with us today, our international host. Thank you very much for your time, for being us with you for this Papua New Guinea webinar this afternoon. Thank you very much. Okay, I don't have a question, but I just want to share my personal view from the journey that I have had in ONPASSIVE for the first time that I've joined and until today. Yes, firstly, I would like to acknowledge our Global Leadership Council members, those people, our pioneer founders. Now they are becoming our Global Leadership Council members now. I acknowledge you for sharing this business throughout this world, and now many of us are joining you people to becoming founders right here. It was a very exciting journey, and without you people sharing this business, many of us wouldn't have joined, and now would have been in the business, and we actually seeing what is happening in that business right then. So firstly, I would like to say that our business is really none like any other businesses that are in the world now. The IT businesses in the world today. That is one of the very interesting thing and the most exciting thing for us founders today. That thing is very fascinating, and I'm very happy to be in that business. So it's really interesting and exciting, and words cannot express. So thank you to those founders, our leaders. Thank you for sharing that business. Okay, and I just want to share my personal view and my experience. I was looking for the opportunity to make money online for at least about 5 years now, since I joined ONPASSIVE on the 19th of November last year. Okay, that was through my my big brother and my leadership council member here in Papua New Guinea, David BAKAU, my brother, who introduced this business to me. And before that, I became a victim to some people who scammed me, and who, I spent some money already through them, and yet I didn't give up. I was still thinking that maybe one day I will find one legitimate company online, and maybe that I will be able to change my life through online business. So I keep on searching, and then I came through it. And David was one of my fellow from my local area, so I knew him very well. So when I came and I was online and I searched this business, and I found out about it, and I went through David and I told him I want to join. But before that, I was asking a lot of questions to him that I don't want to be scammed again the third time and all this. So and he told me this is a legitimate business. It's very genuine. You can join it. So because he was from my area, I trusted him, and I said okay, because I knew you this time, I will join it. So since I joined, I've been in there, and I came to realize that this is the business that I was looking for, since I was online looking for some opportunities. So interesting, and I'm really happy to be here with you, all the people here. So there's something that I want to bring to our new founders here, our Papua New Guinea founders, and many other founders who might be here with us in this webinar, that our company is very, very special company. Something that our IT pros have mentioned earlier in the other webinars, that they said there are many other companies out there, IT companies. Okay, they have their products. Maybe they claim to be using AI, and and they also say that their products are good, maybe well ahead of ours also, and they're claiming something along that line. But I want to assure you, our founders, that there is something very, 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 very interesting about it. So something our IT pros mentioned about reverse engineering. So these other companies, they have the products, but they don't have the AI in them. So when they want AI, they go to the other companies again to get the AI in, and then they put the products together, and they they build it, and they go to their customers, and they tell them that they have the AI products. So but our company and our products, like they have said already, it is built from scratch, and we have our own AI, and that is very, very special about that. So I'm really, really happy to be in a company that is built from the scratch with its very own AI, and soon we will have our own data center, and that's very, 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 very interesting, very, very, very good about that. So we are way ahead of many other companies out there in the market today. So that's something that we should be proud of, and it's very, very none like any other companies. So thank you very much. I just want to say that so that we can see where we are and who we are. Thank you. That's all I have.
Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. There's no other company like ONPASSIVE. None. We are the company. Thank you. Petrus can unmute and speak. We have Petrus, and then we have Joe. Thank you. I have our Papua New Guinea now coming in with a lot of questions. Go ahead, Petrus.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, too. Thank you for inviting the IT guys. I think you went on the Friday Live and you asked Madi to bring the IT guys to our webinar. Thank you so much, because what they did today was, man, it brought a lot of light to us. Some of us would think that, you know, we see the end product and we think that it's so easy for a company to come, especially IT company, to bring a product like this to us. We just used to see the end product and we think everything is easy. But before I go into that, I'd like to thank Madi, Lim, Chris. It's 4 o'clock here in PNG in the afternoon, and it could be midnight, early morning. And for you guys to come to support David and to bring this knowledge to us, we so much appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And to our IT brothers, Oliver, Colin, and Vincent, I didn't know anything about, you know, building the product and then integrate it, automate it, secure it, and then you have to test it. That's a lot of work. And then we have a genius in our CEO who has to stand behind all these guys to make sure that the product is up to the standard that he wants. Man, thank you. We are going to go right to the top and we are going to mass. I had our guy in Dubai, I think Madi or Red may have asked him about where he sees ONPASSIVE in the next 5 years on the ONPASSIVE 360. And he said, we are going to operate outside of planet Earth. My goodness. And you see how as is going about lifting the standard, we are going there. I'll speak to our PNC founders in Pittsburgh. Papua New Guinea, you may got this good opportunity where David, our leader, and Ben Kisim Kamlo, Mibla, you may thank him for this opportunity and give Mibla. Mibla start one area where life from Mibla changed big time. You may must have easy. Now you may wait him like I have come to the table by Mikaike. No can I have not talk something long time now. Oh God. He got plenty of works the backside. Lo one something BAKAU. And by come, it is done deal. And by you missed up easy BAKAU. Question, lo ask him or leader Blomibla will come outside lo PNG. Lo site Blomibla lo Papua ini okay. You may all get a cut. Bell heavy, bell pen, lick time. Lick time. Just wait to see. Plenty of stuff and behind one is something but come long, but boss me plus CEO, and on the smart man, on the good man, and make sure that something come out straight, come out good. Like I get come, you can get, but you can get little in the way you pull up. Back to our world leaders. Thank you, Marty, thank you. Chris, Lynn, I have no questions. I just want to say thank you. And your presence here this afternoon in PNC time and early morning and where you are. Thank you so much. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Petros. Thank you, Petros. Joe Orambari. Joe is out.
It's 16 hours.
In his hamlet. He's always connected to us in the vehicle, and I think his people are watching around the car. So come on, Joe. Thank you.
Grace, I salute you. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon and good evening, good night, midnight or maybe early morning hours. Chris, love you, my beautiful brother. And all of you, it's very hard to mention with something that David has been mentioned. First thing, also my beautiful ladies, for your nice presentation. Oliver, Collins, and Vincent, that's a nice presentation. It's very, very awesome, and I like this presentation. Exactly, you correct, because Papua New Guinea, we are not IDs. We don't know anything about it. So it's a beautiful and nice presentation that you have made today. We can talk about the other things, and we can ask a lot of questions, but out of this, I don't think we have much to ask a lot of questions, because this is not, we're not involving in this type of business at all. Actually, I could tell you, I acknowledge all of you, these ideas. In fact, our CEO, I know this business is very, very new to us in Papua New Guinea. And we just joined in through Madi, through David. So I'm really excited. So, Chris, I'm going to turn it around in the pigeon, and I'm going to tell all the founders, all with PNGs. They will ask you a lot of crazy questions, thinking that it's very easy to take this business on board, and this is how we're going to look at the able tribe, and we're going to have a stable. It's going to take time. Hallelujah. It's going to take time. God is good all the time. Amen. No wonder Papua New Guinea are always having our webinar every Sunday in here in Papua New Guinea. So I think we're so good, Chris. Anyway, so I'll turn it around in the pigeon. Make sure all our founders must know properly, because don't come and ask our leadership council like Vero or David or whoever, and all the telegrams are full of unnecessary messages. I don't want to look at those unnecessary messages in the telegram. We must know how the business is going to be. It's not easy to take a business on board and you're going to be a millionaire overnight. No, I don't believe in becoming a millionaire overnight. Who told you to become a millionaire overnight? So, Papua New Guineans, I'll turn it around in our pigeon, and I'm going to tell them, be very, very patient. I'm not an IT man, but I simply tell them, if it takes Microsoft 6 years to launch, and the other like YouTube, Twitter, with Amazon, we got other internet companies. It takes them 6 to maybe some of them 10 years, and I don't know, but I just see what other webinar has been mentioned to us. So this is how I do the explanation. So what this webinar today with Oliver and David has invited them to come and present this. It's very awesome, and I really appreciate this presentation. So this is how we will know actually how the internet company is going to work. It's not easy to take everything. It's not an application to be feed in. Features is going to be feed in. If it is not right, it's going to be removed that, and they're going to feed it again. It's going to take them years. And this is what I told my teams. It's not easy to take this business on. I always go and ask the other IT fellows like Manuel, especially Manuel. Papua New Guinea, we have Manuel with us, or the other ITs who are becoming founder. It's good to ask questions so you may know, and then this is how you're going to learn something, and then actually this is what's going to be done. So don't come and stay there. You just live somewhere. So you go into the bush or going somewhere else and come and ask a crazy question. So anyway, that's why I'm going to stand around in pigeon, and I'll tell Papua New Guineans to know how business is going to be. This business IT is not our business at all. We don't know this business. Thank you. I'll turn my language back to in our own language in PNG. Okay, founders play me as a team leader. Me talk you plenty time like I'm talking. I'm not an IT. Me no I'm IT man, but me seven and me talking more. Online founders or team blow me and me talking more late. And CEO go same na. Me no IT man, but me sabi harem no sample line, me sabi asking question, long line, we start long people on PNG, they know, or IT especially, they know IT, how to fit in Microsoft, like, if I have my Microsoft in the office now, I'm around down, I'm how I'm going to do this, but me okay, most money to fit in Microsoft, like on me, update my device for me. So I asked them a lot of questions, me asking them, me talking okay. This is what I'm going to do. Now me looking. So time me asking all me section plan, good plans along too. So me like talking me also, this like business here, I mean, you see. Time you me sit down and me look na meeting also more. And one kind of some you go in the store and me go long wholesale or teng mo na buy mo bla. Or garamut na me buy him. Tintis can put him the customer ba come in. I mean one kind of same. This like business I mean all same. Or maybe in one kind of same me go join him aim global. Me go look killing products. Me go me spending money na buy marasin le kama you think money. You come me gonna use it go sit down on market and me look mama sit down or can marasin on market or salin something no. All money no buy. So you must be patient because this is something out online and offline. It's like IT technology. Yeah, people are not. We are just go up to it. Na people are picking up now. Other companies, na people are using this idea. SME come now. Me say, "Now you explaining more team below me. Me say talking more. This line me no easy. It's not easy. And by taking time, and by taking plenty of hard engineers, no come in and work, take and work 24 hours to fit every all features or application. You go, and you go wrong. But how him can this line? Or put him can, you go, him can looking more same, you right? I mean, okay, or okay, it's okay. Now, no got about how him can because you can see over you name it over IT blow you mean the best technology, IT technically, when a company in the world, AI. So that's why only I talk locally immediately. So, CEO, I mean, like making more say, you must come out the best of the best internet company in the world, technology in the world. So, and time to talk me so it will take time. So you must see. So me hamamas now you all haram the yaw me nice presentation long oliva and Collins only talk me so Emmanuel a young man Emmanuel let me something. So M can pick him up something long haram na M can look in. So when we come to this time, one of our IT men himself Manuel is there. And by some time he go founders don't hesitate. No can pass him out. Ask Manuel if he's no something else to do. He's going to say something to you about this IT business. So he's going to explain it to you. So you may not know over the time come on the more kind question and thinking that oh everything is okay for us now. We are so and so no. It will take yes. It will take yes. But you may talk thank you. God has a plan and purpose for it and you put him this laman see over him and come on a good plan or something and you put him in God give him the wisdom long end. So he's using that wisdom long creating this on passive and put in the platform where all of us will come in globally and people feed long end. One man, I'm always thinking about this and we'll founders me to give. I'm always praying and I'm always thinking that one man only tipping 1 million how many founders into one basket. Just imagine it's too much for him to take care for all of us. But he did it upon God's will and plan and he did everything and I really appreciate it and thank God for it. Thank you, Madi. Thank you, Chris, Tony Monk, all of you, our international global leaders have supported me. Thank you for your support. Thank you, David. Back to you.
Thank you, Joe.
Welcome,
Thank you,
welcome.
Joe. Okay.
Welcome, welcome.
I have Daniel Sani and then we have Veronica, we have Arnold Lakamanga.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I will be brief here. Firstly, I'd like to thank Marty, Lynn, and also our tech people, Colin, Winston, and Oliver. I've been following you, all of you, including Bob Takushi, on Friday Live Show. I was there. I listened to you, and I'm here with you again. You know what? This is actually a lecture, university standard lecture you have provided this afternoon to us. I've been sitting down here taking notes, and I've learned a lot. I learned a lot from you guys. Thank you very much for your time. I know to wake up very early and staying with us up here, like David said, it's a sacrifice. So I thank you all for your time, your sacrifice. We appreciate you to come to Papua New Guinea to clarify and build up this belief factor in us. And we will take the recorded one when it comes out. We will take it out and go back to our team, our group, and individually, and we will share the business again. Because Collins, you have present, and Vincent and Oliver, you have mentioned everything in a nutshell. So Papua New Guineans have no reason. Please, if you are listening here, your team leaders, we have a very short window left. This business is genuine. The IT guys has expressed themselves. You see, among themselves is four IT guys, including Bob, is not here. They share 90 years experience among those four people. And for them to come out here and they show the vision of ONPASSIVE. You and I, we don't understand IT. But if those four people can understand how ONPASSIVE operates, how genuine, how real their business is, we don't have to question. We must not question or have doubts in our mind. These people have 90 years experience among themselves. So please, team leaders, or if you're a new one listening to us this afternoon, come in. Don't wait, because this is a golden opportunity you might miss. So I would recommend our team leaders, please take the recorded one, go back to the village, build your team together, get to them, show it to them again, talk to them in this very short space of time. So thanks once again, Lynn. I will catch up with you guys at next week on Friday Night Live. I enjoyed this, and I'm still tracking those webinars, and I'd like to attend. And I want to learn as much as possible from you tech experts. I have learned a lot. I'm not a tech guy, I'm a banker, but by now people are seeing me talking like an IT person because of your people, because of your knowledge. You come here and you teach us, you train us. Now we are talking like IT people. So thank you very much. We really appreciate you all, especially Mati, Lynn, and our tech guys for your time and effort to come on our team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. I have Veronica. You're back on. And then we'll have Arnold and we'll have Emily to round it up.
Thank you, David. Daniel is right. Those of us who have no IT background, we seem to be talking like IT people here these days because of our association and with ONPASSIVE and being founders in this company. I have two questions actually. The first one is, we have people, well, let me put it so, we have those founders who have business already, who are in ONPASSIVE, and there are others who are interested to come. They also have businesses. For the benefit of everyone, and because we will be sharing this webinar with put it this way, our prospects. Maybe Mati, could you explain for those who have businesses how they will benefit from coming in and or benefit from ONPASSIVE and being a founder too as well. And the second question is, we have IT companies and Papua New Guineans who are in IT. How can they benefit from ONPASSIVE? I mean, in the case of Collins, Olivia and Vincent, you are IT specialists yourself, but you saw ONPASSIVE and you saw what it was doing, and you've come in and you've thrown your support, full support behind this company, and you attend many webinars right around the world to help us founders. What is ONPASSIVE to you, and as IT specialist in this industry? Maybe you can elaborate on your own views, and then for the benefit of our IT people in PNG, you could help us. So with your explanation, we can just pass it across to them. So then they can learn from it. It's trying to explain to another IT person coming from a non-IT background. We stumble over this. It's like a hurdle. We stumble over it. So I would appreciate your responses to those two questions. Thank you.
I'll take the first one. I'll try. For people that have existing businesses, the beauty of ONPASSIVE is you could come into ONPASSIVE as a founder right now, which isn't going to be that much longer. And when you get in, ONPASSIVE is going to build your ONPASSIVE business, or you could take part of that traffic and drive it to a business that you already have, which is unbelievable. Now, another thing is you have e-commerce. There's going to be e-commerce, and then there's going to be the market, can't remember what the name of it is. Anyway, there'll be a marketplace where you can.
Omart.
Omart.
Oh, Omart. Okay, yeah. I should have known better. Oh, something. Anyway, Omart, and they can put their business in there, and all the people that come into ONPASSIVE, when they go in there to look, it'll be under a category. Let's say you make purses or you, whatever you do, and people see it and go, oh, I'd love to have that. They buy it. And they estimate 100 million customers in a year. Now that estimation came out when we only had 100,000 people, 100,000 founders. We're 1,200,000 and something now. So I don't know what that estimation is now, but it's huge. So you can plant your business there and just organic traffic will see it. People that are coming into ONPASSIVE, or you can go to OCreate, make a website for yourself because it's part of the package, put a little video in it and what you're selling, have the company drive traffic to that, a percentage of your traffic, and build it that way. Many, many different ways you can use ONPASSIVE to build the business that you have now, or something you love doing, anything. Maybe you could teach people how to speak Pidgin. Maybe you could teach French, or you want to teach music classes, or you want to teach how to play the guitar. I mean, the sky's the limit of what you can do with ONPASSIVE because of all the avenues that ONPASSIVE will have. It has everything for everyone. So I can't think of anything that you can't share and build a business, even for fun. I mean, it's really nice that finally you'll be making money. And if you bring in a passion that you have, even if you don't make a lot of money, so what? You're doing what you love to do and you're getting paid anyway. So, I mean, it's unbelievable what's open to us. It'll get clearer and clearer as time goes. Right now, it's kind of foggy because we don't know all the details yet. But from what we're listening to and what we hear, it's mind-blowing what we're going to be able to do. I'm already looking at different ways to market myself added to what ONPASSIVE does. I want to leverage what we're doing. But that's all I have. Maybe the IT guys can answer the other question.
Okay, Mari, maybe I'll take it, and then Bra Oliver and Bra Vincent can add to the second question. Yeah. So, you know, when it comes to IT, it is difficult for most IT guys people, men and women to really understand what ONPASSIVE is all about. It's just because they've just blinded their eyes. They don't want to take a close look. Because for those IT specialists who've taken close look, honestly, they've jumped into ONPASSIVE. They didn't hesitate. I introduced ONPASSIVE to 3 of my colleagues. 4 of them, 3 jumped in, 1 refused. You know, and that's how it is, and most of them, I didn't really explain. The other one, I really take my time to explain. We had that back and front, talk about the code, talk about the building, you know, talk about, the building of the IT solution. The reason he gave me, he said, nobody on earth can do this. I said, but you're an IT engineer, and he's a senior programmer, but he couldn't really see it. He said, you know, even if they do it, it will take time. And what if things go wrong? Then I'm saying, like, but you are also working in an IT company. And every time we get things wrong, we fix it. We get things wrong, we fix it. So when they get it wrong, they'll fix it. The only thing is patient. But he was just like, okay, Collins, you are right, but I'm not coming. Good luck. But the other 3, I didn't even explain. All programmer. When I share my link with them, I said, take a look. And if you think it's good, come in. Before I noticed they've already signed it, they didn't ask me a question. I said, but why didn't you come back to me and even ask me? I just saw you sign in. He said, who on earth will see artificial intelligence and never join this company? He said, this is the biggest, this will be the biggest. That's what they told me. It will be the biggest. He said, I'm ready to take that chance. And it's just $97. So there is nothing to lose. So what I'm saying here is a lot of IT specialists, those who are IT engineers, true IT engineers, they've just refused. And the word I always say, they will regret it, because this opportunity that we have been looking for, We work for most company. I think Bro Oliver is here, work for multi-million dollar company. They make all of this money, the CEO get rich. But what they are giving us, they will think like, oh, IT engineer, they are the most paid people in the world. But I'll tell you, they are the most crappy paid, because if you look at what the company is making, nothing comes to you. Nothing comes to you. There's just nothing. It's just peanut of what they are making. But again, when you look at ONPASSIVE, what Mr. Ash Mufara want to share, I'm telling you, no IT person, a lot of them will regret. So if you're doing it, Veronica, you're talking to them and they don't see it, it means they've just refused to take a look. Because those who've taken a look, they have joined. So the only thing is just share the link and said, go and look at it yourself. You're an IT specialist. Look at the product. Look at the products and tell me. Look at the integration. Just tell them that. Look at it and tell me if you think it's an online, because they see it as an online, and they refuse to understand that what they are building also is an online product. There is no product service in which you can't go online and use it. You know, but they are just refused, just block their mind and their position, because they are happy with their 9 to 5 job. So they don't see anything, forgetting that technology evolved, and one day their business, a lot of IT companies always close down because they cannot keep up the pace of movement. So there is no way you can change their mind, honestly. But those who really understand, honestly, a lot of them have jumped in. So that's what I would say. If Bro Oliver want to add something.
Yeah, thank you, Collins, and thanks, Madi, for that. I want to say this. This is an IT technology company. And when you look at IT today, the world is evolving into technology. And we've already positioned ourselves, ONPASSIVE has positioned themselves, because we have AI, artificial intelligence, that is the most destructive technology today in the world. And we are part of this history. I have friends also that work in Microsoft. You know, I have one that teaches in University of California, a PhD holder. He's a professor. He refused to see it. They refused to see it because they said this thing cannot work. It cannot. That they can't see anybody that is going to build a company like this. It cannot work. What I say is a favor. It's a favor for you to come on board to be part of history. And that is what we, all of us here, we are doing. And I will say it again, that God's hand is on top of all the 1.2 million founders that are in ONPASSIVE today, because God has seen your heart. This company was built out of heart. God has seen all the 1.2 million founders in this company, and God has replicated Ash Mufara, the CEO of this company, to all the 1.2 million, because they know that your heart, you will touch other people and you will replicate yourself and you impact the lives of others. So as an IT technology company, look at the money that the technology companies are making today in the world. Look at Jeff Bezos, look at Steve Jobs, look at this guy in Tesla. These are all technology companies. Look at the huge amount of money they're making. Now they go to space. They go to space with money. But look at our CEO, a down-to-earth, humble, respectful, family man. He respects all of us. When I met him in Boston, I almost cried. He shared even the food that he wants to eat. He shared it with Lynn, shared it with Julie. He shared everything. So we are lucky, and I want to say God should bless all of us, the 1.2 million founders in ONPASSIVE. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my brother Oliver. Thank you also, Collins. But I won't be long. But looking into the IT today, because for those who understand technology, sometimes they are the people who refuse to join the company ONPASSIVE because they think it's too good to be true. So that's the problem most people in IT are facing, because when looking to our product, one of my brother was saying most of our product, they are standalone product. And then was Zoom, take 3 years to build Zoom. And then we have more than 20 products. So for them, it will take a lot of time to build those products. So for them, it's too good to be true. But in reality, it's true, because they refuse, like my brother Colin said, they refuse to understand that they are IT product and then the company is true. So that's why they don't understand. So being IT and then they refuse to understand is not a problem. So it's not because of them that you think the company is not true. It's true because they think they know too much. So for them, it can be true. So that's the problem with the IT guys today. Myself, I introduced ONPASSIVE to most of my colleagues, but they refuse to understand. All of they say, no, it can be true. So most of the IT guy, they will go back to you and then they will deceive you, but they are the people mostly they should think about this, because it's an IT company and they should tell you that, well, this is how we should go and this, but they don't get it. But if you sit down and then you look at properly, ONPASSIVE, we haven't seen any company like ONPASSIVE in this health before. So if they don't understand, that's good, but it's real. And then all the technology, modern technology are there. Artificial intelligence are there. All the technology is behind. Today, nowadays, technology, they are in ONPASSIVE. So if they don't understand, maybe sometimes they don't get the latest technology in the world today. So this is what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Collins, and thank you, Oliver. Right, we have Arnold Lakamanga. Please come on and unmute, and you can talk.
Thank you, David. I maybe have a very simple request to Collins, but before I go to request, let me express my gratitude to those who have actually presented this afternoon. Again, thank you to the Leadership Council, David, yourself, and the others who are on with us this afternoon. You know, when we signed up, when some of us signed up with ONPASSIVE, it kind of molded and we programmed our thoughts. We came in with an MLM, mentality, but ONPASSIVE kind of molded and we programmed us to do something different, to take it on board and look at it differently as an online business. ONPASSIVE also blew the breath of patience into us. And your presentations, especially the techies this afternoon, is more like a food to energize these patients. And I'm very grateful that you have given us this presentation. It is a pity or regrettable that most of our PNG founders are not here to listen to the presentation. And also maybe so have a feel of appreciation on what happens at the back to bring out a software or an application. But nevertheless, those of us who are here could share with our members who aren't here. And I would also like to thank Veronica to ask that question that Collins and Vincent and Oliver have answered very well about, trying to pitch this business with an IT man. I have had my share of difficulties trying to convince maybe two of them. One has signed up as a pending founder, and he's still there as a pending founder. Fortunately, I got a lady to sign up as a founder. But it is pretty hard for us to, fix this business to them. And they come back to us with tons of questions, which sometimes we find it very hard to answer. But thank you, our tech team. You have given us, this food for energizing us to go on more and fix this. My request is, would Collins be able to share your presentation with us? presentation that you did this afternoon. So,
Yeah.
of a product being executed and developed and ready for launch.
Yeah, I can share it. I'll give it to Lynn, and then Lynn will pass it over.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, you can pass it on to Lynn. She will send it on to me, and I can share it to us here.
Right.
Thank you, Arnold. You done?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have Emily, and then we have Tony Monk, and then we have Julie, my sister, Julie, to round it off. Thank you. Emily, you can unmute.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. And once again, I'm just going to echo what my other co-founder members from Papua New Guinea have said, and their gratitude to Marty and Chris bringing on the our tech guys who have come in here. And although we're not a tech-savvy nation, I mean, as we progress along these things, we're getting a better appreciation of the kind of work that goes on behind the scenes. And I think that's good for us because like a lot of my colleagues have said, it's really hard to explain the reasons why to other founders, new ones, and those aspiring ones wanting to come on as to why it's taking so long. And so we get M&L companies will come to us and say, look, you've been on for more than a year and you still haven't, still haven't got any funds received from it. And whereas some people just joined up 2 weeks ago and they're already receiving funds. So, but it's good that when you get the tech people talking about these things, and they're the people who know all about this industry, then it gives you that comfort that you haven't made a wrong decision, that the decision that we've all made has been correct. And I'm spurred on by Marty's explanation that this is not just one product that we're talking about. This is a highly integrated system that it connects to so many other things. So it's unlike any other tech companies. So that's been reassuring to me. And I think for me, I've also listened into Lynn's webinar sometimes where she does have the tech people explain a lot of things, and I don't always follow them, but I get that appreciation of just how much work there is and how much care Ash is taking to make sure that every step of the way we are covered, we are secured. Hence, for example, such things as his 3 layers of beta testing, that it goes through the tech team first, and then it goes through the founders to give some practical feedback to it. And then he's got yet a different layer. So the whole process begins to make a lot of sense to you. And I guess the biggest bomb of all has been that the Dubai marketing campaign. I think people are still reeling from it. Well, I certainly am reeling from it. I mean, the richest city in the world, I hear, and we're there. So if that isn't assuring, I don't know what will assure people and give them that confidence that we are in the right place at the right time. So I think one of the questions that I was going to ask, Veronica's already asked that, because I have been asked by the same MLM people who are asking me to join them. Under the same breath, they're also asking me if they come onto ONPASSIVE, how will that support their businesses? So thanks, Marty, for your explanation on that. So that's all I wanted to say, was just to express my gratitude. And it's really great to see you all after a bit of a break from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Okay, we have Tony Monk, and then we have Julie, and we'll round it up. we need to round it up because it's getting late for some of our people. Thank you, Tony.
Hello, David. I like what's under your chin. Makes you look 10 years younger.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to see you, buddy. You tech guys, Vincent, Collins, Oliver, you guys know how much I'm so proud of all three of you. You've come a long way. Thank you so much for coming on to teach us this amazing, the technical part of it when it comes to the products and so on. I wanted to also answer Veronica's question that she asked earlier about being in IT and seeing ONPASSIVE from an IT perspective and why would they join ONPASSIVE. When you have a career or a job, you're only limited to so much you can make, right? There's a cap. In other words, there's a cap to what you can make. Here in ONPASSIVE, there's no cap. Sky's the limit. So for example, if you're making $150,000 a year, and that's the cap, right? And then every few years you get a raise, you can make that in ONPASSIVE in 1 month because of the compounding effect, right? We know how the compounding effect works by now. That's been mentioned many times. Yeah, no, there's a lot of, obviously the opportunity here with ONPASSIVE is a heck of a lot better than working at any career. And the thing is, with the technology and the knowledge that these guys have, these tech guys, they can go into the future with that knowledge as well. Now, when they're financially, not only financially stable, but financially rewarded to the point where they've got so much money coming in, they can use that passion, the knowledge that they have when it comes to the IT perspective part of it, right? And they can use that to expand and move forward and help other companies, not get paid for it, but do it on a voluntary basis, right? Which is a great thing. And I think that's what these guys are going to do, because these guys have big hearts, believe me, and they're putting their reputation on the line by coming on these webinars and explaining the IT part of the company when it comes to their products. And I pat them all on the back. They're my brothers. I've known them for a year now. They're my brothers from ONPASSIVE Heroes, right? You guys are fantastic. I love you guys. Thank you so much, David, for having me on. It's been a while. It's nice to see you. And keep that thing under your chin. It makes you look younger. Take care. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, my brother Tony. Thank you. And we come to Julie. My sister, please go ahead. Thank you for joining us all the way from Orange County.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, David, and all of our guests here and all the tech guys. You guys are doing such an amazing job. I wanted to say hello to all the guests that actually listened to our webinars tonight. You know, you are in such a good place, and I wanted to make this really clear, okay? ONPASSIVE is not an MLM company or associated to anything has to do with an MLM. ONPASSIVE is way far and superior and state-of-the-art. We do have the products that created from scratch, and we also have the customers are already in place. We are over 1.2 million people around the world. Doesn't matter where you are able to be in ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is the simplest business, and I guarantee you, it's the simplest business that you have ever been into. The key factor that I feel that is very important to all of us as the business owners is driving targeted traffic to your business. And it doesn't matter what business you are, as long as it's legal, as long as it is benefit to humanity, ONPASSIVE will be able to help you bring your business to the next level, to 10x, okay? So it is very important. ONPASSIVE is also the business for you as well. Even if you don't have a business, ONPASSIVE will be that business for you. Now, as you are hearing all of us are sharing today, and also what Tony has just said, there is no limit in ONPASSIVE. There's no cap. The sky is open and it's unlimited, and you get to be on the very top. Look at David Otto's background picture, right? It's the highest building in the world, and ONPASSIVE has 2 floors in that building, and it's not easy to own one of those offices there, but ONPASSIVE is currently owning 2 offices in that building, and the very top floor, it's a 151 floor, it owned by ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE will be the very, very top, and it's continue to be in very top. So all I can tell you is of our guests here, you are in such a good place. Whoever that invited you here truly wants to bless you. Whether or not you become a founder of ONPASSIVE doesn't make a difference in the person who invited you, but it's going to make a significantly difference in your life, and it's going to change your life forever. It doesn't matter who you pick up the phone and ask, we will be there to help you, and we will let you know that what we have been learning so far in ONPASSIVE is way more than what many of us have learned in our lifetime. So ONPASSIVE is the simplest business that already built it up for you. Look at all these tech guys introduce the technology, the behind the scene, just so that we ensure you that ONPASSIVE will build a global and sustainable, right? And safe and secure products that we all can use and the entire world can use, could be part of it. All you have to do is be part of ONPASSIVE. And remember, if you are in it, you are so going to win it. And ONPASSIVE guarantee your success. However, that success that you use to measure monetary, knowledge, information, however that success you are measuring, you will guarantee that success. All you have to do is get back with the person who share ONPASSIVE with you and take massive action. You don't have to do much. All you got to do is stay plugged in, learn a bit, get some knowledge, and go out there and share it with it, and share it with hearts. And that's ONPASSIVE is all about. Thank you so much, David, everyone, all the tech guys, everyone's that spoke today. And thank you all the guests that joining us today. Appreciate you so much, David.
Thank you, my sister Julie. Thank you. All right, we have come to a time that we need to shut down. We need to close the webinar, and I give this honor back to our 3 tech guys to say the parting words, and we want to appreciate them. Thank you for you all. Oliver, thank you, Collins, and thank you, Vincent, for making the time to be with us up early in the morning and late in the night. Thank you so much for that. And the knowledge that you have brought to us here at this webinar has been so, we appreciate it so much. It's invaluable to us. It's helped us to give us confidence, as Emily has said. Thank you. Each one of you can, okay. Collins, you can go first.
Okay, thank you, David, for inviting us to this wonderful webinar. Thanks also, Julie. Thanks to Matty and Chris. Thanks to Auntie Lynn also, because she also invited us also to this webinar. Thanks to my brothers, IT guys also. Thanks to all the panelists, and thanks to all participants. Okay, thank you also. The last thanks go to, again, David, for inviting us to be here, and also we ask people to be here. I think it's every Saturday, same time. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll be
Take
here and then to help people, and then also ask people to be free. If any question, anything come to their mind, they don't understand, they should be free to ask question. We are here to help also, to not to tell people, teach people IT, but to make people understand on passive with the product we are using, because they are all IT products. So our aim is to allow people to understand all the passive product. Even if you have any particular question regarding the product we are using and on passive, you'll be free to ask question, and we are here to help and then give our contribution. This is on passive is for all of us. So this is any contribution we put into on passive is for also our own good and then for the best of on passive. Thank you. I'll leave it there for my brother colleagues.
Thanks, David. I just want to thank everybody. Just want to greet our brother Tony. You know, Tony is one of the, you know, the person who really pushed most of us up. You know, just to say, you know, when Tony attended our webinar, saw what we were doing, and it was just like, what are you guys saying? He said, this is ONPASSIVE. And Tony said, people see ONPASSIVE in a different way. And what you guys are explaining is so different from what is out there. I said, yeah, because we are coming from IT perspective and we're looking at ONPASSIVE in that angle. And we want to bring it to people because most of the noise people make, sometimes you attend corporate webinars and people are asking about this launching and they don't understand the process. So sometimes we, like Brother Oliver, Vincent, and Bob, we just sitting behind, we said, my goodness, you guys should understand this. This is just an IT. And we said, what can we do to help a lot just to make people to understand so they don't come to corporate webinar and be asking certain questions that are not necessary. So we took upon ourselves, start to do this, and here we are. I just want to thank Lynn. You know, Lynn is also the other brain behind putting us, Marty Digamo, you know, and again, you know, Julie, the hard work is also paying off. So it's really great to be here. And the only thing we want to say, especially we're talking to those who are non-founders, and when we look at other products, and you don't really want to come into ONPASSIVE, the statement I always make, I said, not everybody will be a founder, but everybody will use ONPASSIVE products. We are using Google's search engine today, not because we Google, but because that's the only thing we can do to search and do stuff. You know, we're using WhatsApp, not because we love WhatsApp. Just think about all those products, our products and services, not because we really want to use them, but we are paying for it indirectly. We don't know, and they are making so much money. So whether you come into ONPASSIVE, like Julie said, the person who bring you in is doing you a favor. If you don't become a founder today, you become a customer of the IT product. There is no way you can escape ONPASSIVE. There is no, because ONPASSIVE will dominate the whole sphere. There is no way you will be forced to use the product. And what will happen, guess? You'll be putting money in the founder's pocket. So why not become a founder? So you can instead put your own money and use your money back. So that's the only thing I want to say. Thank you, David, for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you, New Papagini. Thank you, New Papagini, and thank you again. I want to start with the ladies. Lynn, the mother of OTech Pro, we thank you. Marty Digamo, the father of OTech Pro, thank you. Mr. Ash Mufara, the CEO, thank you. Julie, thank you. And we love you guys all. Marty, Tony, you are the man. You know, you are the man. And I just want to appreciate everybody. And I want to repeat it again, here again. Chris Johnson, hey, hey, hey. You know you're my brother, you know, and Tony and Marty. And I just want to say, this is an IT technology company. I want it to sink into our minds. It is an IT technology company. Nobody should associate it. It bites my stomach when people want to say it's MLM. Please give me a break. At least we just show the system of software development life cycle, how the CEO and the guys in Hyderabad, they've put these softwares, multiple softwares together with AI, automated, and the integration part of it. Please, it's an IT company. We should not associate ourselves. Look at the building in Burj Khalifa. Google is not there. Microsoft is not there. Who is there? ONPASSIVE. COVID has reshaped the world today. And the way God is moving things in the favor of ONPASSIVE. Like I said, the God hand is on ONPASSIVE. COVID came, the world has made the world go digital. And that is how our digital products from omail.ai, O Virtual, O Academy, O Staff, name it. We are going to sell like, you know. So I just want to say, where we are today, we are fine. We are fine. And this is an IT technology company in New Papua Guinea. We should know that, please. We should know that it's an IT technology company. And we should be lucky. We are lucky to be part of this revolutionary company. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you very much, everybody. We have come to the end of the webinar, and thank you very much. I have to excuse Mati. Mati has left for another engagement, so he has passed on the host to me, and I will be shutting down the webinar. I want all of us to unmute. We can unmute and we can be able to say.
We love you, brother
bye-bye.
David. We love you, baby. We love you, brother David.
And see you again.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, next week we don't. We will not
you,
have a
Chris.
webinar next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Tony.
Hi, everyone. Good night.
Tony.
Take care of yourself.
At the top.
Hi, Rina.
Christina, Dodge. Christina.
Rina's family.
Bye,
Hi.
Julie.
Love you,
Hey,
Julie, Lynn, brother David.
I love you.
My brother and Bill Must. Bill Must. My brother Bill Must.
Bill Must in the house.
Yes. Bill Must.
Hi, Rina.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.